Well, greetings to you. I'm up in the lakes at the moment doing a bit of fell walking. As you can probably see in the background, the weather's not so good. Sadly, because I'm up here in the Lake District fell walking, I couldn't get to the Great March, the Great Unite March. But I had a good look at it, and it prompted some ideas with me. First of all, I'm not untrained, although not an expert. I'm not totally untrained in the matter of photo aerial reconnaissance, and that is, I do know roughly how to gauge the number of people when taken from a distance, how many people there are, a head count, if you will. So I find it quite extraordinary that some of the headlines from Sky News and BBC were suggesting that there were anything from 100,000 people there to 150,000, which is obviously fiddled figures. They were miles higher than that. And although I'm looking for aerial photographs, I do have many family friends who were down there who were feeding information into me. And it prompted the idea, when it was quite obviously, even the police said it was over 1 million and probably nearer 2. But let's just go with 1 million, shall we? But just being generous-hearted. So there was obviously 1 million people there. And of course, they have been systematically bad-mouthed by the legacy media, who deep state virtually own, quite literally own. So your editorial of your newspapers and your television, your mainstream television, are bought. And so they were going to misinterpret this march from the very beginning. And I said so in a tweet that I did 2 or 3 days ago. I said the police will fiddle with it. The police will do their best to make it look as bad as they can for those ordinary families and those ordinary people who attended the March for Unite. They'll try and make it look bad. The press will weigh in alongside, and so on and so forth. And that's exactly what's happened. However, I'd just like to move on a bit further than that, and it's on the principle of lying. And we have to seem to have institutional lying now for the last 20 or 30 years. Now, I'm not totally naive. I know politicians lie. It's what they're paid to do. They can't help themselves. So I don't really take issue with it. And their spin doctors, the people who actually speak on their behalf, or their press officers, you can call it what you like. I call them spin doctors. They lie as well. And I don't necessarily have too much problem with that, because they're paid quite generously to lie on behalf of their party leaders or whomsoever they're representing. Okay, so far so good. But we're getting lies from people that we should not be getting lies from. We shouldn't be getting lies from prestigious newspapers hitherto with a good record in their editorials, and they're lying. We're getting specific spinning on things like support, the Royal Air Force support for reconnaissance and the Israeli attack on the Gaza. So we're getting that kind of thing, which we all know. And I remember years ago when I suggested I didn't want to go on when I was at school, I didn't want to go on a nasty long cross-country run because the weather was positively foul. And I suggested to my housemaster that I had a sprained ankle and I had a note from matron, but I lost the note from matron. And he looked at me and he said, the thing is, Bloom, what we're going to do, if you're going to lie, make it plausible. Now, here's what I wish would happen. They'd make it plausible. We see senior Israeli Air Force officers going in and out and making presentations to the Royal Air Force. So we know that we are supplying intelligence information, if not other things, from our Cyprus base in Akateri. So they lie about it. Now we expect the politicians, perhaps, and the Foreign Secretary, so on and so, to lie about these matters. Well, of course they do. But when I see senior officers, King's officers and erstwhile Queen's officers in full uniform lying in their teeth about the situation in Gaza, lying in their teeth about the situation in Ukraine, I become rather depressed about these things. It seems that nothing is sacrosanct. We know that judges, very senior judges, Supreme Court, Court of Appeal judges, have absolutely no interest in the principles of English law. Their placement by politicians. We have a Prime Minister, okay, he's a politician, but a Prime Minister who's lying about the appointment of Peter Mandelson as ambassador to the United States, saying there was due process of which he had nothing to do. We know he was lying. It's now proven he's lying. He's still there. So we get lie after lie after lie, bad lies, incompetent lying. And they're all still there. Nobody seems to pay the price. We have senior members of the NHS lying about the COVID situation. Everybody is lying. And so people now aren't watching TV, they're not watching the news, they're not buying newspapers, and they don't know where to turn because there's nobody who seems to be telling the truth. We know that there's an intellectual corruption of the National Trust, many charities, Christian Aid and all the rest of it. They're all politicised. We seem to live in a Alice in Wonder, a dark Alice in Wonderland world where the truth is not spoken by anybody at all. We see academics telling us that we don't have an immigration problem, we don't have a crime problem, and so it goes on. We're told that inflation is only 2 or 3%, which any housewife can tell you is absolute nonsense. When's it going to end? When's it going to end? And the other sad thing is, we know it's not going to end at the ballot box, is it? Because there's really, if you draw right down, there's nobody else to vote for, is there? Let's be brutally frank. As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research based, and I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I automatically share it with you. So, surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.